Hello people, I am Jaby KOAY, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hello.
We're going to talk about The Spy Gone North, also known as GONGJAK. GONGJAK. So I don't know. That's the original title in Korean. This was a film that I was very much intrigued with when I saw the trailer. The idea of, that opposition between North and South Korea and crossing over to the enemy side, much like in Indian films when they have stories about India and Pakistan and someone having to go to the other side and deal with that. Whether it's a drama or a comedy, that to me is just interesting because of the strong opposition that the countries have to each other.
Yeah.
And so here we've got this, spy intrigue. It's right there in the title. This guy basically going undercover to find out if the opposite side has the ability to launch nuclear missiles. That's essentially the kind of launching point for the story.
And it's interesting as well because even though this story takes place, like 20 plus years ago.
It's still relevant.
It's still super relevant right now.
In the mid-1990s, a loyal South Korean secret agent is caught in a political vortex plotted by the ruling class of North and South Korea. That's a perfect summary of the film. It's 2 hours and 17 minutes, and I think that you definitely feel those 2 hours and 17 minutes, but that being said, I felt tension throughout. I think that you kind of felt the opposite.
I definitely felt moments of tension, but it did kind of veer on the longer side for me, so that there were moments where I lost focus.
I definitely felt this perpetual tension because it felt like at any moment, something can go wrong, something will get uncovered, and someone's cover will be blown. There's just a lot of subtext throughout the movie where there's nothing on the surface. Everything is beneath the surface.
Yeah.
If you're not interested in films that do that, this will be very boring to you. This film is very much about subtle acting. Even though the main character is kind of gregarious in his fictional character, it's all about subtle cues. It's all about the little things. And I like that about this. I like the understated acting throughout the movie.
Yeah, it was really, really beautifully done. A really, really great example of strong acting on both leading men.
Yeah.
They carried it very, very well.
It's beautifully shot. The film is just lit very nicely, and the framing is great. I could have used a bit more what I'll call shorthand Scorsese in it, like moving shots. It's something like more dollying. I would have liked that more. If you have to choose between super dynamic camera work and simple camera work that just lets the actors act and lets the story unfold, I'd rather go with the latter. But I would have liked a little bit of this, just a little bit more, like moments where it kind of pushes in on a moment. What's a great director that does that? Like the one who did Zodiac, I forgot his name.
Fincher?
David Fincher. I think he also directed Fight Club. He selects these moments for the camera to do something.
Right,
and sometimes you don't even notice that it's happening, but it pulls you in. And I would have loved it if the director, for his next film, if it's anything like this, another espionage thing, I would love it if he would explore stuff like that. Having camera movement where it helps facilitate the story further. Because he's obviously not a Michael Bay type of director.
Yeah.
He's more, of just letting the actors act, like I said, and the story unfold. And I definitely enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed the story quite a bit. I think a lot more than you did.
I guess because I was expecting a little bit more excitement. I was like, oh, it's spies and stuff. When's an explosion gonna happen?
Yeah, no.
No, it's not that movie. Once I got over that, that was okay. But there was a really great twist that I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
And that was really, really interesting. And it's very, very real. All of the machinations of the people behind everything, the politics, and being someone who's just almost like a middleman who's just stuck in the middle trying to do the right thing and then realizing wow, this is way bigger than me and I'm in over my head and what can I do?
This is the kind of movie when you watch, you really need to pay attention to everything that's going on.
Yeah.
Because you can get lost if you're not paying attention. I feel like every single scene was important in this movie. If you took anything out, the movie would not make sense. That's how well this whole story, held together, in my opinion. The writing was great. The directing was great. I think that you maybe could have trimmed things here and there. Obviously don't delete scenes because I feel like every scene, like I said, was important in terms of kind of facilitating this story. But I feel like it could have been trimmed down a bit to maybe cut it down to a 2-hour running time or something like that. But
just 11 minutes.
See, that feeling only comes up because the camera didn't move. If the camera
Right.
if the camera moved, it wouldn't feel like it's taking so long. And the music was not the most complimenting music that I can even, like, when we walked out of the theater, I thought, like, I can't even remember what the theme song was. I can't remember the score whatsoever. I don't even remember if there was music in the movie. Like, I think there was. I imagine that there was.
Yeah.
But there was nothing that stood out to me as something that helped the movie along. Like, when you think of something, like any Spielberg film, for instance, that's from before the last 10 years, you can generally recall the theme song in your head. That's one thing that was lacking here, was a good theme song where you go, oh, that's the Spy Gone North song. You know? And
I don't think it's that type of movie though. Like, it's not Jurassic Park or...
I feel like good dramas have good theme songs still. Like, if you go back and watch Schindler's List, I'm pretty sure there's a theme song in there that's woven into the film. So it doesn't have to be, you know, an action-packed film for it to have great music.
I also really liked the final scene. I mean, I'm not going to give it away, but I will say that, you know, it ended in a very lovely emotional climax, and that payoff was just perfect.
I guess that would be my one negative critique besides the lack of camera movement and the music. It was the Lord of the Rings kind of ending. If you guys have watched Return of the King, you'll know what I'm talking about. Like, there was like 5 endings. You're like, wait, what? Is that not over yet? Okay, now it's not over yet. Okay,
No,
still
there's
going.
more.
All of them served a purpose, though. All of those, you know, false endings helped the story to further kind of elucidate what's happening. It was just kind of like, I thought the movie was over a couple of times. Like, I think you could end it here and it'll be all right. But nope, still going. Much like this review. We'll conclude it here. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. And if you had a chance to watch the movie, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. If you haven't watched it yet, let us know if you're going to check it out. And check out ACHARA KIRK. Check out Jaby on the social media. Subscribe if you have not already. Check out our other reactions, reviews, and short films. I'm Jaby KOAY. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.